So I realized recently that I've said a ton in a lot of my videos. Like, this is what I do. That's what I do. Because I wasn't really certain what it is that I do for people and why I do what I do. I mean, I feel the why, but I don't really know how to say the why. And it dawned on me recently, at least a new iteration, I feel like this one's more true, that what I do is really, I am the light in me in order to awaken the light in others, right? Because what people want, what every human being wants, deep down, is to be a light for other people. And if you don't believe me, if you're like, no, I just want to make a lot of money, well, why do you want to make money? What's the classic question behind that? I mean, if you had $1 million, what would you do every day? Well, why would you even consider that? Because that question points to the truth that we only want money and stuff and things around us in order to be free to give what we really want to give. What we all ultimately want to give is the light of the universe, the light through our souls in the authentic way that's us. We just want to be love in the way that we can sustain for the rest of our life so that we're in a constant state of bliss and feeling the feeling of giving a great gift on Christmas every day of our life. And so I realized that's what has been working through me to be for people. And as a coach, that's what I help people unlock in their life. So I want to give you my understanding and my process and my way of approach, I guess, for the 4 steps to really becoming a light in the lives of people around you. Because ultimately, that's what we all want. And it starts with, number 1, owning your story. That's what I call it. And really, that's being honest with yourself. You could bullshit everybody around you, but you need to be honest with yourself. Otherwise, it's just this big swirling mess of confusion, and you're not really sure what it is you want in life, who you are, and all these things. Everything just kind of ends up confused because you're not honest with your pain. Own your story means really see your pain, feel your pain, sit with it, cry it out, purge it, journal it, be real about it. For me, what this looked like was when I finally wrote down and explored deeply the shadow of my journey with my mom, of my mom having a traumatic injury, and really the way that I experienced it messed me up because I blamed myself. I should have saved her and all these things. I wasn't even conscious of it for the longest time. All I knew is that I was really confused about my career, right? And so it was like I wasn't able to find who I really am because it was buried beneath the shame layer, and therefore I wasn't able to give in the way that I wanted to give. And everything that I tried, like real estate and all sorts of avenues that weren't me, good careers for other people but weren't me, everything I tried was actually my ego putting on a smokescreen of something that I should try for a little while to ultimately evade what I should be doing, which is who I really am, which is enlightening souls and bringing more light to the world. So I had to own that story for that to even have a chance. And then when I owned that story, what I had to do next, in step 2, well, 2 fingers, step 2 is empowering your truth, right? So what does that look like? Well, for me, there was a lot of personal development. That was going through really hearing over and over again all of the strategies that enable light to come through you, right? If you live a life that is beat down and crushed down by toxins and junk food and negative people and all sorts of stuff like that, well, your truth isn't going to have a chance. So you do have to arrange your physical world for the spiritual world to come through you. It's a very important step. And then what that looked like for me was going to a lot of personal development seminars, not so much for the material, I got that all on YouTube, for the people there. I arranged a network around me of people that really, really saw life in a beautiful way, and I'm still connected with them today and still pulling those people into my experience all the time. Really grateful for them. And so that's the network, and that what I offer on my website at joemcveen.com is, well, it's also a Facebook group, but all 4 of these steps, and on there you'll find a link to the Fearless Connection Project community, which is the group that I've created for people to own their story and connect with each other in an authentic, meaningful way, seeing the truth in life and seeing the meaning in life and wanting to bring out the life in themselves and for everybody around them in a way where that's totally supportive, and it's all just centered around love and light coming through. So that's step 2. Step 3 is really daily practice, man. Because it's not like enlightenment is like, got it, moving on. No, it's a continuous practice. These enlightened Indian mystics and yogis and gurus and all this stuff, you better believe they're meditating darn near every day, right? They're practicing what they do, and I spend the first 3 or 4 hours of every day getting clear on like what I'm feeling. You know, when I wake up in the morning, there's all sorts of goo going on in your brain, so I clean it all out, and I've got the system, the exact step-by-step system of what I do every day, every week, on my website. That's step 3, which is daily practice, and that's the Purpose Awakening course that I've given for folks, and it used to be like $150, but I'm just like, I wish I could give it away. My team won't let me, but I'm keeping it at the holiday price at $39.99 so that more folks have access to it. But that's step 3. So you're in the Fearless Connection Project community. You've empowered your truth. I've got a self-love guide that we're working on the final edits for. I'll make sure that's live and available for folks to understand all of the wisdom of self-love for step 2 and step 3. Would be every day finding what works for you, finding your morning routine, finding exactly what clicks in your experience, right? How do you bring all this stuff to the real world every day? And then when you go to bed, get excited for that morning routine, because it's something you're going to continue to want to do every day. You sprinkle some exercise in there, all of a sudden having a nice body is just a constant in your life. You sprinkle healthy food in there, and then it solidifies lots of energy and lots of excitement about life. And so getting strategic about your morning routine. But step 4 ultimately is have a guide, have a mentor of some kind. I've got multiple. I've got a spiritual coach who's phenomenal. He's Buddhist. He's a Vietnamese fellow who I just love with all of my heart. He reads my energy across the country, calls me when anything's going on. Like, I don't have to tell him, he just knows. I don't try to understand how he does that. But I've actually started to experience it myself and be able to do that for some of my clients, and it's really, really wild. But ultimately what we're doing is we're bringing this spiritual energy to the world through a physical form. So, I mean, what you've already read in science books is kind of like just step 1. Because love is way more beautiful than thought, and thought's what creates all that stuff. So that's just one of my mentors, just folks who are further along in the process that can help you out. Of course, as a coach, that's what I am. If you're interested, you can reach out to me, and it'd be my honor to bring the light out in you. If I don't resonate with you, then find somebody. You know, it doesn't have to be me. But if I do, then I encourage you to message me, reach out to me, and we could talk about what it is, what is the form of light that you want to bring through. Or if you're confused of not knowing how to bring your light to the world, well then, that's fine too. Because it's there, and I actually specialize in seeing through bullshit. So you could try to bullshit me, but I don't know. Truth is what I do for a living, so I'm going to see through it. Anywho, those are the 4 important steps, and like I said, at joemcveen.com, I've got them laid out for you. And I think it's really important that folks understand that you got to be honest with yourself first about what you're feeling or what you're not feeling, right? If life around you feels really, what's the point? Like it's empty, it's dark. Something's causing that, because your nature is to be love. You came into this world as your soul, your being, your limitless spiritual nature came into this world wanting to just exercise how you really are love, and how you are light, and how you are the energy of the cosmos. And all the challenges that come through that are keeping that stuck are just opportunities for you to grow through in order to realize more of your light. It's who you are. It's who you really are. And all I can do is just say things and hope that they trigger what your intuition is already trying to tell you, the teeny little voice in the back of your mind. That's why things resonate. That's why things sound good. That's why things get exciting. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Because ultimately, it is the truth. It's trying to come through all of us. And so it's my pleasure to wake that up in you, my friend. If you have any questions about any of those 4 steps, or have any trouble technically, or anything else, make sure to message me. And I look forward to talking to you sometime soon. Thank you, my friend. Take care.